All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Big Time Hoops, the podcast. Actually, the first podcast in a while. It's been like 8 months, 7 months, something like that. But we're back, and I got probably the guy who's got the most juice right now out of anyone in terms of just name recognition, shooting up the charts. This is the guy right here. We got JP Estrella from South Portland, and soon to be Brewster here. But South Portland for the time being. JP, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. Just relaxing right now. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. But I think the first thing we should clear up is because when I first started hearing about you, it was Joseph Estrella. Now I'm seeing JP Estrella. I think the Twitter handle and the Instagram handle are different. So what are we going with? We're going with JP? Are we going with Joseph? What is it?
Everyone calls me JP. The name's Joseph, so just either or, whoever's easiest. I guess JP. We'll go JP.
Where's the P come from? What's the P for?
The middle name starts with P.
Okay. And what do you want to go with? I mean, we need to know because, your name is starting to shoot through the roofs. We got all kinds of buzz with JP Estrella. We got all this different stuff, which we'll get into in terms of things that are going on with you right now. So what's it going to be moving forward? Because they feel like this is the time. You got to pick one or the other right now. So what's it going to be for you moving forward?
I'll go JP. I'll go JP.
Okay. There we go. JP Estrella from South Portland. But as I mentioned, he's rocking the Brewster shirt tonight, but still representing South Portland. And as we talked about before we came on the air here, been a bit of a quiet weekend, which has been rare because I feel like every weekend we've been seeing either an offer come through, an invite to a camp, this, that, but like the rare quiet weekend for you, right?
Oh yeah, it's been nice just to hang out with a couple of my buddies I don't get to usually hang out with. So it was a nice little weekend for me.
I gotta ask you this because this has been one of the things I've been seeing a lot on social media is if you can go to prom, go to prom. Don't miss an AAU tournament, and don't miss the tournament or miss the tournament, go to prom, vice versa. So did you make your way to a prom yet this year? What's the deal with your prom status?
I have not gone to prom now. I'm not a big dance kind of party guy. I'm not real. I'd rather hang out with a couple buddies and do that. But no, I'm not a big prom guy.
Okay. Just ask. I went to a prom last night. I DJ'd a prom last night. I saw a couple hoopers there, and I wasn't sure if you were doing the prom thing, if you were skipping out on it, what the status was of that. But you seem to be content with just hanging out and laying low for a weekend.
Yeah, it was nice just to keep my feet up for part of the time and just relax, watch the Celtics play, a couple buddies over, just relax a little bit.
So obviously you won a state championship a couple months ago, which we'll get into in a little bit. But what's the schedule like right now? Because obviously busy with the AAU season right now, and Middlesex is who you play for, and they're based out of Mass. So what's like your weekly schedule, right? Because you're still juggling school, but you got AAU commitments with the team out of state. So what's like the weekly schedule like right now?
I have Middlesex practice Monday, Wednesday. I usually get a lift in Tuesday, Thursday. Bend tier I get in Tuesday. Usually get a workout in with Obby every day of the week. And Friday, I usually get a workout in with Obby again, and I'll do my own stuff by myself Friday. And after that, then we just go right into the weekend. Mostly Fridays are travel days too, to get out to wherever I have to go to.
So it's supposed to be like the off season, right? Because you just had your high school season, but it sounds like you're busier in your off season than compared to in season. It sounds like.
Yeah, this is actually a little more busy than in season right now, which isn't too bad. I enjoy it.
So where are you going for these practices with Middlesex? So you traveling all the way down to Mass? Are you guys kind of meeting halfway or what? Because I'm guessing you guys are comprised of kids from all over New England.
Yeah, most of the kids are from Mass, so we usually it's like a 2-hour drive, so it's not awful. Gotten really used to it over time. Right now it's at Noble's prep school right now. But after the school year's over, I think we're gonna go back to our facility. It's in Lexington, I think. It's really nice. But Noble's is really nice too. But yeah, it's only a 2-hour drive. It's not awful. I get used to it after a while. So, but yeah, it's really enjoyable.
You mentioned working out with a couple different guys, and for anyone who follows you on social media, they can see you obviously working out with Ben here, getting your time in with XL Thunder with Obby. What can you say? What are the benefits to working out with more than one individual? Because you're going to get different things from different guys. And from what we've seen from just following you on social media since the end of the school year, or since you guys won states, like I've seen the jump. I've seen a huge jump just in terms of your all around game. What are the benefits to working out with more than one individual? And what are you getting from Ben? What are you getting from Abby right now?
Well, Abby's more of a bigger dude, so he understands the bumps and all that, and Ben's a smaller guard guy, so I get two different things out of those two. And it's really nice to get those two in when I can, especially because Abby, I get in with him every day. Um, I get as much as I need big man stuff. And then he'll have other people come in throughout the week for me as well. Like I worked out with Kenzie Holmes and Nick Fiorello last week a couple times, just to have people come in, which is really nice to work out with them too. And then Ben's just guard. That's the only thing he can really say for himself. But yeah, he's awesome. He's helped me a ton with the ball handling piece, the shooting piece, just everything guard related stuff. I've had a big jump in my game with that, especially, and he's been a great job for that.
And it seems like when you play with Middlesex, you get to kind of display more things, and you get to maybe display during the regular season playing for South Portland. We're seeing the range, we're seeing you shoot jumpers, we're seeing you handle the ball and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. What's been like the biggest thing you've seen in your game jump from winning the chip in March to what you've been able to display during this AAU season?
Probably my ball handling, especially for Middlesex. I do it a lot more than I did with Sopo, because I'm definitely a lot more on the perimeter during Middlesex, and it's definitely gotten a lot better. I can see it throughout games. I use it a lot more. The ball handle is tighter, quicker, and it's been really useful throughout all the games in the UAA and any tournament that we're at.
And obviously, you're thinking big picture. You're thinking long term in terms of, you're not settling for just where you're at now. Like you have goals to play down the road, higher competition, et cetera, et cetera. So how important is it to add those things? How important is it to work with different people that have these different skill sets to add to your game? And where does that come from? Like, where is this awareness? Like, I need to add these things if I want to not only get to the next level, but succeed at the next level.
Yeah, I definitely, just a big piece is for me wanting to not just play at the next level, but to succeed and play really well at the next level. Like I don't want to go into college, learning to do all these stuff and starting from scratch. I want to go into college, have stuff ready, have stuff that I can work at, get more and keep getting better at, have stuff in college where I can strive and get better at, and obviously have the stuff that I'm already good at and just get even better with. That's the big piece for me. I just want to get as much work as I can right now and just prepare as much as I can right now for college. And that's another big reason why I chose to go to Brewster, just to get that extra year at that school and prepare as much as I can for the next level.
So one name you mentioned who's at the next level and not just playing at the next level, but doing very well at the next level is our own Mackenzie Holmes. In your workout sessions, does she body you up? Like, does she hurt you? Like, I've seen her play on TV, and I can only imagine what it's like having to go against her. I don't know how hard you guys go against each other, but she gives it a little shoulder, like she put it into you a little bit.
A little bit. Me and Fiorello swat her a lot, but her footwork's crazy. Her footwork is nuts. I can't even explain. Her footwork's ridiculous. I don't understand how. I just can't explain. Her footwork's ridiculous.
But how nice is it to have just people that are from here that you can kind of lean on, ask questions like with Nick, with Mackenzie? What's that like, just having that knowledge base you can tap into and just know that they're from here and they've gone places and they're doing things? Like, how big is that as a resource for you?
Oh, it's awesome. And I've used both of them just last week a ton. Just asking them questions like, how's the atmosphere in the NCAA tournament, just like those little things I just wanted to get a feel for, and just talking with them, hearing their experiences through college, hearing their experiences getting transitioning into college. They've fed me a lot of knowledge and a lot of useful stuff.
So where are you with the history of the game when it comes to Maine high school basketball? Like, do you know your history? Like, I know you know Mackenzie and you know Nick, but how far back does it go? Because you played at a prestigious high school. Like, South Portland's got a history, right? You guys have a history of just ball players and championships and a winning culture. Like, how well do you know your history when it comes to Maine high school basketball?
I remember watching Kenzie and Nick play. Those are two players. Especially, I remember when I was at Scarborough, Nick was a really big role model to me. I really looked up to him. Him and there was a kid named Maurice on Scarborough. Those two I really enjoyed watching because when I was at Scarborough freshman year. But yeah, when I was in the middle school, those are big role models to me. I really enjoyed watching them. And I remember watching Kenzie Gorham. She was a bucket. That's all I can say. She was a bucket. Just like, just growing up, watching them play and just seeing them succeed at such a high level. It's just awesome to see. And it's just something I'm thankful for. I got to look up to them as a little kid. And now I get to play with them a little bit now, which is awesome.
Yeah. So you mentioned you started off at Scarborough. So let's go back a little bit. So for those who aren't familiar with the upbringing, let's go ahead and run it back. So originally we're part of the Scarborough system, I'm guessing, right? All the way through?
Yeah. I was at Kennebunk when I moved to, I was born in Mass. I moved to Maine, lived in Kennebunk with my grandparents. And then 6 years ago, moved to Scarborough.
And who'd you get involved with early in terms of just your basketball upbringing, maybe like the AAU program you got in with early? Like, where are the roots when it comes to Maine high school basketball or just Maine basketball in general?
When I was younger, I used to beg my mom to let me play AAU. She didn't let me at the beginning, but then she really just gave into it. I started off at Renegades with a couple of buddies that actually are at SoPo right now. So I played there for a little bit, then transitioned over to Blue Wave, played there for a long time, and then transitioned over to Excel, and then now to Middlesex. So I've gotten to taste a lot of programs, and all of them have been great, and I've really enjoyed all my experiences at all different programs.
So my first sight of you, or my first interaction, or the first time I saw you, I should say, was with the Mambas. I remember seeing the Mambas. I remember seeing you in the Mamba jersey. So where does the Mamba thing come from? And how did you guys get started? Or how did you guys come up with that name? Obviously, it's got to have something to do with Kobe, but tell me about the Mambas. Where does that come from?
Well, we were all at Blue Wave, and we all moved over to XL, and I forget, it was like some sort of like Abby didn't have enough jerseys or something. I completely forget the story, but it was something like we couldn't get Thunder jerseys, so we had to make our own. We didn't really want to write Thunder at the beginning, so I forget who it was on our team, but someone just said Mambas, and we just went with it and rocked with it for a little bit. We had like a lot of people that play high school basketball today and are hooping right now. Like we had Silvano, Jay, Bryce, Evan, Luke McNabb, Peyton Mitchell, just the OG Blue Wave team, pretty much. That's just who we had, and just hoop for a little bit. And then after the season ended, Abby just switched us over into XL and get us actual jerseys, and we did. And the rest is history, pretty much.
So not everyone comes into high school basketball as a freshman just ready to go, take over, dominate, state championship, this, that. It takes some time to kind of get into it, right? So obviously now you just finish up your junior year, or you're wrapping up your junior year, and just coming off a state championship, 6'11", dunking on people, doing this and that. But what was it like when you came in as a high school freshman? Were you like a scrawny, awkward, unathletic kid, or did you have it kind of at a young age?
I came into high school at like 6'2", 6'3", really skinny, really was a baby, really soft. Didn't really want to bang with the big bodies at all. And at Scarborough, I was on JV, started JV halfway through the year, and then started swinging back and forth. Towards the end of the year, I got a lot of playing time in the second half. Got, baby hooks for the majority of my points freshman year. But then, got to experience first playoff game, but we lost first round to Maturo and Bonnie Eagle. Got to play with some really good players. I got to play with Brian Austin, who I've seen recently, and I've seen Maturo recently too. So I got to learn a couple of things from him. Scarborough had a good season for us, but it was a struggle for me there. I thought I was going to be able to start varsity, and then reality hit me, and I just showed how much work you had to put in, and ended up putting in a lot of work throughout the years I've had. It's been working for me.
What went into the decision to go to South Portland?
After freshman year, I was dealing with some school stuff. Wasn't really doing that well there. Ended up switching to South Portland, and grades got up. Got to play a little hoops. Got better throughout the whole summer. got to play with the SoPo summer ball team, got to meet some of the guys. And then I came into South Portland sophomore year, started, and then had a great season. And then same thing happened this last year and got the championship. So South Portland's been really doing well for me, and got to play with some great guys. Got to get coached by really good coaches, and get a lot of experience at the varsity level. And we're getting ready to move on to Brewster now.
When did you make the jump, like growth wise? Because I feel like you came in as a 6'2" junior, and now you're listed at 6'11". Is that legit? Are you legit 6'11"? Because I saw you at All-Star Weekend. You look like you're legit 6'11". Is that legit? Or are you adding a couple inches?
Yeah. No, I'm legit 6'11".
Why not just round up to 7 foot?
Nah, I can't do that. I'll hit 7 foot soon. Don't worry. I'll get it soon.
So you're not done growing. You think you still got another inch or two in you?
I hope so. I hope that'd be pretty neat to get 7 foot. But yeah, the majority of my growth was sophomore summer into junior year. I think I grew like 6 inches. It was nuts. But yeah, that was the majority of my growth, and hopefully I can squeeze down an inch or two. That'd be pretty nice.
So when did you make a jump athletically? Because I remember seeing you in the Mamba stuff as must have been around like freshman year. And then sophomore year, when we did the virtual All-Star Weekend, a certain person reached out and said, "Hey, I got a guy who should be in the dunk contest." And that's my first time like kind of seeing you as a sophomore, and then seeing you this past year was like another jump athletically. So when did it all start coming together physically in terms of you just being able to like run, dunk, move good like the way you do? Like, did it all come quick, or did you have some awkwardness in there?
I can't complain. I haven't been an awkward player at most of my life, which I've been grateful for. Haven't grown into my body too quick, so I haven't experienced like the awkward movements and everything. But sophomore year, I really wanted to work on the vertical, because I thought if I kept growing, got a bigger vertical, then I'd just be able to dunk on dudes, which I do right now. But yeah, the vertical has just increased, and the athleticism has just increased. Probably beginning of Thunder. That's when it just started going up for me. After that All-Star virtual dunk contest, that was more me just being tall, so I was able to do some dunks. But now it's like I have some bunnies now. I got a good amount of bunnies now. But the major leap for athletically was at Thunder, and then it's just been growing ever since. And still now it's going up. And just trying to be able to touch the top of the backboard now. That's the next one.
Do you feel like you were robbed that sophomore year during the virtual All-Star Weekend, the dunk contest? Do you feel like you were robbed out of that one?
No, Noah had some. I did not expect that at all. That vertical, but it was like I think he was the last one to do it. Yeah. So I was already like, all right, I think I got a good chance. And then he comes off the bat jumping over something. Like, all right, never mind. I did not do it.
Because like you saw, like you didn't see till those all put up, right? So I saw like people were sending me this stuff like at different times. So I knew going into it. So I put him last just because no one was going to expect anything from him. But dude came out with some dunks though, right?
Yeah, he did. That was ridiculous. I remember sitting in a living room with a ton of people, and we were watching it, the first one, and I just was like, "Yep, I'm not winning. I'm not doing it." I got my redemption this year, though. That's what I was happy about.
Yeah, how'd you feel about this year's dunk contest? Because Noah brought some dunks again this year too, but like you nailed all your dunks this time, and you had some tricks up your sleeve this year.
Yeah, it was fun this year. I had a lot of fun. I had to start off hot with the 3 people, and then I just did my favorite ones at the end. I'm trying to get a couple new ones in now. I don't really know. I've been trying to think of new ones to do, but haven't really thought of that many. I've been looking up a lot of old dunk contests to see what people are doing, but they're all just like super, super creative, like with Tyler, with Dwight Howard and Superman and all that jazz. Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out some new ones to do, but it was fun this year. It was awesome.
I agree, man. And you didn't even bust out the one you wanted, right? You came up to me before and you're like, "Can we raise the rim to 11 feet?" And I was like, "No, we can't do that." You had that in the back.
Yeah, that would have been fun. But it's fine. I tried to do the free throw one. Didn't go as planned. But it was super fun though. I enjoyed that with all those people there actually being in person. It was awesome.
And we'll touch on that in a little bit, but I want to go back before we get to kind of like where we're at right now in terms of the timeline. So
Mhm.
you're a pandemic guy. Like you're going through high school hoops, like when the pandemic hit, right? So your sophomore year, first year at South Portland, like you're playing with no fans, playing a mask, like just crazy stuff, right? So like what's the biggest thing you take away, or maybe like the biggest thing you look back on when you look back at your sophomore year of high school, peak pandemic? Like what's the one thing you remember?
My growth just everywhere. I think the pandemic was bad for a lot of people and it was good for a lot of people. I think for the pandemic, for me, it was a really good thing. After all the gyms shut down, people really started to not do as much things. I had a hoop outside. I would work on that every day. And the pandemic really was a really big eye opener for me, because after the pandemic kind of got down, people started to play again. I really realized how much better I've gotten compared to a lot of other people just between that little gap of time. And it was a really eye opener just to show what work can really do and how work can affect your game. And it's been great. It was a great experience for me. And I've just been evolving ever since.
So this year must have been just super nice, like having fans in the crowd, having
It
like
was,
a regular season, right? Like you must have appreciated it just that much more.
yeah, it was, I hated the no fans. I hated it so much. After, you have a couple dunks, there was just no energy at all.
Yeah.
Just hear like the people on the bench, and then that was it. But this year it was awesome. Got to get a couple dunks, get the crowd pumping. Our student section was amazing this year. Our student section was the best in the state. Our student section was, and it just the energy you feel throughout playing with actual fans. It's just awesome. And then you just build off that energy throughout the rest of the game, and it's really just as awesome.
And you played in maybe the most hyped preseason, most watched, most attended preseason high school game of Maine ever, right? When you got Nicole missing the preseason and Cooper came to town. Like, what do you most like going to that? Because I wasn't even regular season, and that shit was just mad hype. People packed in there, just all these different media outlets they're covering. Like, what do you remember going into that game?
I just remember going that game just trying to have fun and get the W. That was the two of his biggest things. I knew it was going to be crazy. Like I remember people tell me people were sneaking in from the back to get in. People couldn't get enough. Like the tickets sold out within like the first day. It was packed. It was awesome. I remember. So apparently you only had like 50% capacity, but that was definitely not 50% capacity at all.
More than that. You could tell about
definitely. And it was awesome to play in that game. I mean, it was a great game, double OT. Couldn't have asked for a better game. Ended up short, but it's okay. Happens to the best of us. It was a great game throughout everything. And the fans got what they wanted, a great game, which they did. And just to be in that environment was just awesome. Had to play against great competition. Both teams won the state championship. So that just shows all the hype came true between both teams.
What was it like playing a season where you guys were pretty much the favorite all year long? Like just target on your back. You guys had like almost like a 30-year drought in terms of a state championship for South Portland. So some pressure there, being the favorite. What was it like just having that pressure all year long? Because you guys only dropped one game all year, right?
Yeah, we lost a TA at our place, but that was probably the biggest eye opener for us, just because we didn't have the best beginning of the year games. We blew by a couple that we should have probably lost, but we won. It was a good eye opener for us, saying that we can lose, and it just gave us more drive to work every day. And honestly, we just blocked out all the clout, all that stuff, and just focused on winning one game after the next, and then playoffs game, which we knew was going to be gong show of people talking about us like they did last year, and freshman year for South Portland. So we just had to block it all out. We still did the same thing, get one game at a time, and it worked out great for us. Then after the chip, then we got to enjoy a little bit of the media outlets and the clout and all that, which is really nice.
What's it like going through high school basketball nowadays? All the social media where people can reach out, people can DM you, people can run their mouth, stuff like that. What's that like? Because it's one thing to have pressure in your back, but it's another thing to have kids, message you talking shit, this and that. When I came through, we had message boards on the internet, and that was it. You got all this social media in which people can reach out to you directly. Like, did you get any shit all season long? Like, people reach out and run them out to you, or were you able to just block it out?
I didn't get much. I mean, probably a couple games that maybe I like Body Eagle or something like that. But I didn't really do too much. Mostly just fueled me. I mean, the people at Bonnie Eagle got exactly the opposite of what they wanted. I probably had my best game of the season was probably there at their place. So it felt a little good to get back to those people a little bit, but then just blocked them out and played my best basketball I could. I just ignored them and just focused on the game, and that's all that happened.
Where was the dunk where you threw it through your legs? Which gym was that in?
Noble.
Was that a goal? I mean, I feel like you had that like in the back of your mind, like you wanted to pull it off because you didn't you try earlier in the year and you missed it.
Yeah, I did. In Massive Basic, I hit the back rim, got really mad at it, and I think we played Noble literally our next game. I got a fast break. I'm like, I'm doing it. And I remember after the Massive Basic game, Millie told me Coach Millie told me if I ever miss one again, I'm getting subbed out immediately. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, I just got to do it. Like, I had to try it one more time, and I got it. And yeah, it was pretty cool. I remember all the Noble kids were like, "Oh my God, he just did his man!" All this jazz. So it was kind of funny, but it felt good to do it in a high school game.
It was funny because like it was on the NHFS feed, right? And like there's no audio. It's like on the dunk between your legs, and like there's like no noise, no nothing, and like people like anybody react? Was anybody there? Like anyone react to it? But what was it like in the gym? Did you hear some stuff?
The gym wasn't that packed, but it had a good amount of people. After I did it, even the Noble student section all went crazy, which is a little nice because we didn't have a student section because I don't even know how long the drive is, like an hour or so. But it was nice to have them chime in a little bit, get some excitement going. And then everyone else just went a little crazy. So it was nice to have some energy in an away building with no student section.
I'm guessing that was the most memorable dunk of the year right there, right? There's a ton of them.
Ooh, I don't know. I think my most memorable one was when we played our rivals Portland at our place. Like the third quarter with like 30 seconds left, Jay threw it over his shoulder, and I dunked on the kid, got the foul. That was probably my favorite one of the year. God, that was awesome because I remember I had a horrible first half. I needed something to get me going, and after that, I just started cruising through.
What was the run of the state championship like for you? Because you guys put a bunch of good teams to get there, played a good Oxford Hills teams in the state championship. Any moments of doubt at any point during that run in which, we might not pull this off?
No, I never had any point of we're going to lose this. Had to keep our heads high. There was obviously probably some points where we cut it close, but never a point in my mind where I was thinking we're going to lose this. We just kept staying positive. Even when the times were bad, we just had to keep battling. We did, and we just had a great playoff run for us. It was awesome to have some guys like sophomores like Raga who got to play a lot, Jaden Kim who get to experience that, and now they have 2 more years at SoPo, and they've already experienced what it's like to go on a great state championship run. And now they get the experience of that, and they get the experience of playing great teams and going in tight games. And it's just a great experience all around for all the guys. And it was definitely for sure a fun one.
How crazy to go from like your sophomore year with no fans in the crowd, like masks, all this stuff, to state championship game in Portland. I'm guessing the place was packed from what I could see on TV. Like it was packed right out. Students, like how crazy is that to go from one year to the next and just cap it off the state championship?
It's nuts. I mean, just from the biggest piece is just the energy piece, and just the energy you get from everyone in that building is something you can't describe. It's something that you really just gotta like live and feel, and it was awesome. Our student section was ridiculous. It took up just like a whole section of seats and everything. It was massive, and the energy we just fed off of that was just ridiculous, and it just pushed us every game. Like, these guys have been supporting us throughout the whole season, so it was just awesome to get the win, not just for us, but the whole entire South Portland community.
Yeah, how many former Hoopers like reach out to you like and congratulate you? Because I know like South Portland got a rich history of just ball players, right? And I know one, Josh Mackey. I don't know if you know Josh Mackey from South Portland, but I know he was happy as hell. Like, did a bunch of like former players like reach out and like just congratulate, like thank you for bringing home a gold ball back to South Portland?
Oh yeah, I know a ton of them reached out to Coach Millie, and he shared everything that they said to all of us. It was a lot of them. I know a ton of them were there. I got to talk with a ton of them, and just they were all just, even though they weren't playing, they just were happy to see that 30-year drought finally get the win, and it was just something just for even the old players to experience, and it's awesome that we got to help them experience that and got to experience it for the whole entire community.
And now you're moving on, as we can tell by the shirt you got on tonight, going to Brewster here in the fall. So how much easier did winning a state championship make that decision, or had you already made up your mind? Because, and I wonder what went into it, because you were already getting looks, and you were already getting D1 looks. The looks would have kept coming. You were already involved with Middlesex Magic, which would have helped with those looks as well. So what went into that decision to decide to leave and finish up your senior year at Brewster, which for those who don't know is one of the best prep programs in the entire country, not just up here in the region, but one of the best programs in the entire country. Like, what went in that decision for you?
Just the biggest thing for me was getting prepared for college and playing the best players every day. Like, I'm going to be playing against like Matis, I'm going to be playing against Taylor Bowen, Aaron Clark, Jeremiah Jenkins, and a ton of new players that are coming in with me. The best thing for me there is going to be the practices, get to play against those guys every day. And that's just going to prepare me for the next level and prepare them as well for the next level. Just be playing all these guys that are 5 stars on my team, get to practice with them, play with them. It's just going to be a great experience for me, and just getting me prepared, playing other guys across the country. We're going to be playing a ton of big time tournaments, traveling everywhere, playing the best teams in the country. It's going to be an awesome experience for me. It's going to be another experience to be away, not be home, be away for a while, especially during the basketball season. Going to have a lot of time, not going to be home, going to be doing workouts, practices, all that. So it's going to be a good learning curve for me, and getting to experience like what freshman year would really be all about.
And obviously you got a goal to get to the next level. You got a ton of offers waiting for you, and there's going to be a lot more coming in. But what else you got for individual goals? Because, I mean, you probably crossed off all your high school goals here, man, win a state championship, all state, this, that. But, like, how important is it, or what kind of goals do you have going forward? Because I know you're like a fringe top 100 guy for your class. Like, that's a possibility. There's been some write-ups about that. Like, is that something that's important to you, like to crack the top 100 for your class?
Honestly, I'm good with an underdog. The rankings have shown to me that they don't mean anything. I mean, I played against top players in the country and dogged them the whole game. Got buckets in all of them, clamped them, done all the good stuff against them, and just proved to myself that rankings don't really matter. But obviously, it'd be awesome to crack them. Get to just to see my name on there would be really awesome to see. But I just feel like just playing against the top talent is just something that I can't really explain, and it's just awesome to play against the best people in the world, really.
And you've had some invites that have come through just in the last couple of weeks, right? So you got an invite to there's an Under Armour event you got an invite, right? Too one of your teammates as well. You got an invite too.
Yeah, me and Joe Nugent got the top 60 UAA camp, and then I just got the NBPA top 100.
Yeah. So how do you react to something like that? Like, because obviously that's one of the premier camps you can get invited to in the entire country, and just to be considered one of the top 100 in the country, like, how do you react to that? Like, how do you keep a level head? Like, that's got to be like, okay, like, I'm doing something right here.
Yeah, it was awesome to get the email. Got to experience that with my family and Coach Karate. Coach Karate has been pushing it, trying to get me the best player I can be, and it's been awesome. But yeah, it was just an awesome thing to be invited to, and it's going to be an awesome experience for me. A week down there, get to play against the top 100 hoopers in the country, which is going to be even better. I'm stoked about it. I can't wait for I can't wait for that flight down there and a couple of days of hooping with them. It's going to be awesome.
So let's talk about these college offers because they're piling up, right? You got what are we close to 20 now? 21 offers?
23 right now.
What was the first one? Was Syracuse the first one?
Yes.
It's not a bad first offer to get right there.
Oh, never.
At this point, are you just like a seasoned pro? Like when they come through, you're just like, all right, cool. All right. Yeah, I'll think about it. Or are you still getting geeked up? Like whenever one comes through, like, oh shit, like, all right, I just got offered by this school.
Oh no, definitely geeked up. And it just, every offer just fuels me to work even harder every day. Sometimes I'll get a call in the gym that I just got one. I remember I got one at I got my UConn one before a Ben Tier workout. So I got to get in the gym there, and one of the best workouts I've had. It just fuels you and it just fires you up to get better and better every day. And it's just something that it really means to me like I'm doing something right, and just to fuel the fire and keep going every day.
So how close are we to making a decision, or are we waiting on a specific school here? Like, is there like a dream school that we're waiting on, or are you getting close to a decision already?
I don't know. I've been thinking about it a little bit. There's a couple schools I think I can get a couple more from that I think I would definitely deeply consider. And right now, I've started to make a couple calls to some schools saying thank you, but no thank you. I'm trying to just narrow the list a little bit down, but I'll probably end up wanting to make my decision before starting Brewster, just to focus on that season, winning the whole thing, trying to have a good run, and then just have my college there and get ready for the next level right after that.
Yeah, so I was going to say, was Brewster more to get looks, or was Brewster more just to prepare you?
Prepare me. Just
try to get the decision out the way before then.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay, so I feel like these offers coming every weekend, and like I'm waiting for like Sunday night to be like, all right, he just got a new one. All right, here comes another one. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting on these big offers to come through because it feels like they're getting bigger and bigger as of late.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. I think I could probably get 3 more from 3 very big schools. And hoping I do, because I think I would deeply consider all 3 of those schools. So just grinding it out every day, talking with the coaches. I'll see them at all these NEPSAC events, showcases I go to, and just show out in front of them and prove to them everything I got. That's the main goal.
So I put up a post on Friday saying if you had to stay home, this is just a general question. If you had to stay home, what main school would you go to? And I'm guessing you're not going to pick a main school, right? I'm guessing we're going somewhere else. So let's just obviously it's not going to happen. But if you had to pick a main school, like which school would you pick?
Ooh. That's a good question. I would probably go Bates with David. They just got Shaware, I think. Today. Yeah, so I'd probably go there. That's probably like one of the better schools in Maine for men's basketball. I think either there or Farmington with Dylan Griff and all those guys. That'd be awesome to play with them.
I bet you those guys would be happy to hear that right there. So one thing I've noticed in seeing all these clips from the AAU season, like you're like fearless. Like you challenge every shot. You try to dunk on everybody. Like have you always had that, or is this something you kind of build up to where like you just like I got to challenge everything. Like this is how I'm going to make my money if I want to do this like long term. Like, I got to be fearless. I got to challenge everything. I got to be aggressive. Like is that something that you've always had, or is that like just newfound confidence and just being good and getting results?
Like I said, freshman year, I was really soft. I didn't have the best confidence in the world, but after like the sophomore summer of the growth, the athleticism, put on a little weight, and really during that COVID year, experience how good of a player I've become and keep trying to grow and grow and grow. It's really just me trying to get more aggressive. And those are the things you have to do to strive and thrive in those types of environments that you get to play in on the big time stage. You just have to just compete at every level. You got to go up, try to dunk everything. Got to go up, try to block everything. Got to play great defense. Got to play as a team and just win the game. And I'll do anything it takes for my team to win a game. If that means me trying to dunk the ball every possession, me trying to block every shot, I'll do it. And and especially the athleticism coming in. It's also another factor of coming in and trying to just dunk everything, get a highlight on someone, get the energy flowing. It's just those things that I really think in the back of my mind when I'm doing those things.
So I feel like Maine basketball is like in the best position it's been in a long time, because obviously we got all the stuff with Coop going on, but before Coop even came on the scene, we got Dom Campbell going to Notre Dame, right? He made his decision last year. We got all the hype with you going on. You're obviously going to be that's big. What can you say about being part of that? Like being one of those guys that everyone in Maine is coming up and right now can look up to you, like being a role model, like saying like, oh man, like he's going somewhere. I can follow in his footsteps. Like, how does that feel like being part of that group to kind of elevate Maine hoops? Because I feel like Maine's going to get eyes on that it's never got before, because people are wondering like, man, if JP's coming from there, Coop's coming from there, Dom's coming from there, what else is coming out of Maine, right? So what's it feel like being part of that group to kind of take Maine basketball to the next level?
It's been an honor and humbling experience. The only thing I can think about is just going back to my younger days when I was watching, Nick Fiorello and all of them, hearing about him going to UVM, and just thinking about what he was thinking during those times. And it's just awesome to experience that and just put Maine on the map, as all of us have done. We've all worked our butts off for this moment for us to get recognized. And it's been working out great for us. And it's just an awesome thing for Maine, just to show, we got hoopers up here. Like, come watch us, So it just proves to a lot of people that even though people don't really think of basketball in Maine, that we do. We got hoopers up here for sure.
In one place, it was all on display. I'm gonna gas up my own event real quick. Big Time Hoops All-Star Weekend, right? We had a ton of guys. Like, you look back, I feel like in 5-10 years from now, you look back at the group we had at that weekend this year, like there's just a ton of hoopers coming up right now, right? Like, what can you say about the group coming up right now and what the future of Maine basketball looks like?
It just keeps getting better. I mean, we got so much young talent right now in Maine that's you can't explain. You got Coop, who's a freshman right now. Got a ton of South Portland kids who are just sophomores. All over the state, you just have all these young kids that are just gross. They're gross. They all can hoop. They can do everything, and it's just awesome to see the evolution of Maine basketball throughout just even months. I mean, I've seen like just from watching my brother's XLP team, seeing all these guys who I saw Demetrius hoop last weekend, all those guys. It's just nice to see how Maine basketball is taking a turn for the better, and seeing how all these kids have just keep gotten better and better and better and just evolved. It's just an awesome thing to watch.
So next year, obviously you're gonna be a Brewster, but if the weekend works out, will you come back and be a team captain at Big Time Hoops All-Star Weekend again next year?
Of course.
We can make that happen?
Oh, of course we can make that happen.
And look, I understand you only had one problem with the entire weekend, and that's you wanted to pick your starting five, right? Like that was like the one thing. If you could change one thing as a captain, you wanted. And I thought it was a great idea. I think it was Abby who told me that. I was like, that's actually a good idea. So next year, if the weekend works out and we have you back as a captain, and I'll let you pick your five, your starting five, you gonna come back?
Wait, what? Sorry, you kind of glitched out a little bit.
So next year, if the weekends work out and we make you team captain again, and we let you pick your starting five, you gonna come back and make it happen?
Of course, you gotta make the debut.
And you're gonna defend the dunk contest too, right? You got a championship time to defend.
Definitely gotta defend that. Come with some more crazy stuff.
So what else can we look forward to between now and when Brewster hits in the spring or in the fall? Like, what kind of jump can we expect to continue to see from you? Because, like I said, I feel like you've added stuff from when you want to go ball to where you're at now. It's only been a couple of months. Like, what more can we expect between now and when you leave for Brewster in the fall?
Just growth in every aspect of my game. I'm working every day just to get better, and playing the best people I can. So I guess the thing that you can just expect from me is winning with my team, winning this whole Under Armour thing, getting that out of the way, making Coach Crotty happy. And yeah, just keep succeeding all the way, and working my butt off till I get to where I want to be. And that's the only thing I can really just say is just keep working and growing in all aspects of my game.
The one thing I would say is you don't got to dunk on your workout partners between now and when you leave for Brewster. All right. I mean, it's around on social media this week. We're not going to say his name, but if anyone follows you or Ben, we saw it. You don't got to be dunking on people like that in workouts.
Yeah, he got a little mad at me. I did that little thing. I have like a little highlight thing on my Instagram for all the cool dunks I've had. So I added there, and he got a little mad, but it won't happen to him again. I made a promise to him.
Before we get up out of here, any shout outs you want to get before we leave?
Shout out Middlesex, of course. Those are all guys down there. Shout out Ben Tier, shout out Abby. Yeah, that's about it.
There we go. JP Estrella. I'm excited to see where this college decision ultimately lands. I've heard some rumblings as to who might be next in terms of offering you. I'm anxious to see who you pick. Just promise me whenever it comes time, like we link up and we make something happen.
Oh, of course.
There we go. JP Estrella on Big Time Hoops, the podcast. I want to thank everyone for listening. Make sure you check out all of our previous episodes on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, you name it, it's out there, and many more podcasts to come. It's back. So thank you for listening, and we will see you next time with another Big Time episode of Big Time Hoops, the podcast.